Welcome to Camping with Harper. Now that we've found our campsite, let's set up some shelter for the night. These two trees are going to be where I string up the hammock. Before I do that though, I need to remove all of these small side branches from the main supporting trees. I'm going to do it to just above head height. That should be plenty high enough. Doing this doesn't damage the tree in any way. In fact, it actually helps it. These branches were the early growth stage of the tree, and as you can see, they're all completely dead now. So by just removing these little branches, absolutely fine. Simplest way is just to use your saw and just run it down the side of the tree until it looks something like that. Now, when I tie the rope to it, I'm not going to have a problem. Now that I've taken off all those side branches, I need to prepare the ground. All these branches that are lying on the floor, we're going to gather them up. We're not going to dispose of them though, as they're going to be really handy later on. This is going to be some of our kindling we're going to use when we get the fire going. So we're going to pick them up, set them to the side and have them ready for later. Now I've got the worst of the branches up, I still want to get a few more, so I'm going to make a little broom. Green branches though, they're going to be no good for the fire, so these we are just going to set aside and they'll rot down in their own time. There we go, one broom. Now that we've cleared the site for the shelter, we need to prepare the ground for the fire. Now unfortunately, Mr. Tripod, you're in the way. So you better shift it. Right, well there we go. That's the campsite all ready and set up. We'll have our hammock strung up over there and we'll have the fire just here on the floor. That should be absolutely perfect. So now it's time to set up the bed for the night. So normally I would string up a tarpaulin above the hammock, but the forecast tonight is beautiful, so I'm not going to bother actually. I'm going to sleep under the stars and just have the hammock set up. Later on I'll string up, there's a built-in mosquito net which I'll string up just above, which will keep the flies off me while I'm sleeping. But for now I'm just going to keep it in there as I can sit on it while I'm having my dinner and enjoying the campfire in a bit. So they say you get warm twice when making a fire. Once when gathering the firewood and once with the warmth of the flames. It's time to start gathering that firewood. The key to a good fire is preparation, and as you can see I've been busy. I've got firewood from large all the way down to the smallest kindling, so when I get this fire going I don't have to leave this spot and I can just look after it and make sure it's roaring before I have to step away. Now that it's lit, I need to be slow and steady and building it up. I don't want to put too much on too quickly, because if I do, then I'll smother it. So just slow, steady, and be patient with it. Let the wood catch. Another important thing is to place the wood on the fire. Don't throw it on. It's not overly hot at this stage. You can get your hands pretty close without burning yourself. And just gently place it on. There we go. It's definitely going now. Now that the fire's going, it's also time to start cooking. Got my ration pack in this pot with a bit of boiling water. I'm just going to suspend that above the flames and let the fire do the cooking. Water's boiling. Let's take this off the heat. Ooh, lovely. And folks, there's tonight's dinner, ready meal. Well, now that we've had dinner, it's time to just relax for the evening. Well, good morning. I slept pretty well. First thing on my mind this morning though was to get the fire started and get some water boiling for a nice cup of coffee. Now, one of the most important things in the morning, after your coffee of course, is how you break down camp. The way you break down camp today will directly affect how you put up camp tomorrow, so it's not worth skimping on. Take your time, pack it down nicely, make sure your kit is nice and dry, and then when you unpack it tomorrow, everything will be in good working order. So the last thing to do when breaking down camp is sorting out the fire. As you can see, I've let the ashes die down almost completely. It's almost out now. And what you don't want to do is scatter the ashes, especially in summer. If you did that, there's a really high chance of a forest fire, and we want to avoid that at all costs. So I find the best thing to do is just leave the ashes as they are, but just put a little bit of water on them. What I've done is I've got the leftover water from my coffee earlier on, so I'm going to do the washing up. Simple as that. The water is going to put out the rest of the ashes, and it's going to make it safe for when I leave. There we go, completely safe. Well, there we go, the camp's all broken down, and other than the remains of the fire, you'd never know I was here. So, it's time to get out of here. My bag's all packed, let's get ready, and let's walk home. So folks, until next time, take care. And you never know, maybe I'll see you on my next adventure.